Last time in this two-part video, I discussed credit cards that you could get if you are a brand new user to credit in general. This time, we're going to talk about some credit cards you can get if you are not new to credit, but you just don't know how to get rewards. How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we jump in, it would mean a lot to me if you can hit the like button down below, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Since I'm a newer channel, this really helps me get my videos in front of as many people as possible, and I really appreciate the help I'm getting from some of you guys. For people that are brand new to credit card rewards, I generally recommend cards that have cash back and have no annual fee. The cashback part is because rewards have a set value and it's easy to understand. Even though with travel card rewards you could get a whole lot of value, it usually requires a lot of effort to be put in order to get that value back. However, with cashback, the value that you see is the value that you get, and it's the easiest rewards to understand and value. The second part is the no annual fee part. And this is because in general you want to keep credit cards open as long as possible, and if these cards had an annual fee, you may feel tempted to close them, which would shorten your average age of accounts. If there are no annual fees for these cards, the worst thing that can really happen is that you just stop using this card and you go get a new one. And who knows, maybe in the future this card may have some use for you. Now, this channel does have a lot of videos that break down a lot of the no annual fee offerings of various types of card issuers, and so I won't be going over them individually today. However, I will give you a high-level overview over what types of cards you can get without going into too many specifics. Amongst the no annual fee cashback group, there are three main types. There's the non-category cards, the fixed category cards, and the rotating category cards. Sometimes I like to call these the 5% cards. So let's talk a little bit about the non-category cards. These are cards like the Citi Double Cash and the Wells Fargo Active Cash, and they do not have any spending categories. Instead, they give you a flat cashback rate, usually at the rate of 2%, although you can still find some older ones that give you 1.5%. These are for the newest among us, since you don't have to keep track of any spending categories. And these cards work really well late in the game too, since they give you a baseline rewards category for things that just don't fit into anything. However, I do have to say with these non-category cards, you do tend to miss out on a lot of rewards, which brings me to fixed category cards. These cards usually give 1% back as a base reward, but they also have 3 and maybe 4% categories on specific categories that don't change. Some examples of this are the Capital One Saver One and the American Express Blue Cash Every Day. Although my favorite one is the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which is the one I use on a daily basis, and this sort of is an in-between between the non-category and the fixed category card. It has the non-category aspect of the 1.5% back, but it also has fixed categories that give you 3% back in a variety of categories. Cards like this usually require a bit of thought if you want to switch between a fixed category card and a non-category card, but even if you use a fixed category card as your daily driver for all of your spend, you can still get pretty good rewards anyway. That being said, if you do want to keep track of your categories, this sort of leads us into the rotating category cards, or the 5% cards as I call them. This is the last type of card and arguably the most advanced, and these cards usually have a 5% back category that is either selected by the bank or by you, and you need to activate it by performing some kind of task, either by activating it on your account or spending some kind of money on the card. Cards like this include the Discover Rate Cash Back, the Chase Freedom Flex, and my personal favorite, the Citi Custom Cash. The Citi Custom Cash is the best one so far because it automatically selects the 5% back based on the category you spend the most on. And honestly, if you did want to use one of these cards for your everyday spend, the Citi Custom Cash is not necessarily a bad choice. Another card worth noting is the Chase Freedom Flex that I mentioned earlier. That card is sort of an in-between between the fixed category and the rotating category. It does have that rotating category 5%, but it also has some fixed categories like dining and drugstores that are locked at 3% and they don't change. And that's sort of it for the types of credit cards you can get to start out. Those are all cashback cards. Some of these cards could even be converted into travel cards in the form of a trifecta when you get later in the game. But I hope you actually start getting these rewards rather than sitting on it forever. What do you think about it? What did you start off with? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like videos like this, please make sure you like and subscribe down below and check out my channel using the link in the description down below. To all the beginners, welcome to the wide world of getting free stuff.